G'day. You know what? I was thinking about it today. I understand. Like, I fully get it. The whole, like, what's up, guys thing. I hate that. Listen, it's so whatever. But, like, the more I do this, the more I realize I don't know how to address the camera. So, like I get it, but, like, why are people screaming it? That's the real question. So, you're never going to catch me doing that. Anyways, what's up, guys? I'm going to do an HSR45 today. As you guys know, I am CEO of buying stuff that sits for like 5 years. So the Ultima 107 is no different. That sat for 5 years before I bought it. And the guy, like every other old guy, left a full tank of gas in it. So these are notorious for the fuel needle that like fills the float bowl, that fails. So you know that bad fuel is just kind of going in there and just sitting in here. So I'm just going to replace all the seals and clean it up. It ran fine, but not for me, you know? We're in here. I bought a kit. I don't want to have to tear this bike apart midsummer and try to fix something that I was too lazy to fix. So we're doing it right now. And I know that I'm going to run out of time. I'm going to run out of time. It's getting nice. It's 4 degrees today, guys. I know you can see my breath and it's cold, but it was 4 degrees today. You know how motivating that is? That is so motivating. And then I looked at my bike and I went, brother, that's a lot of work. Allow me once again to act like I know what I'm talking about here. I've only ever done Super E's and CV carbs, but hell, carburetors are all pretty much the same. Mikuni shouldn't be any different. The only difference, I guess, is there's a vacuum chamber up top. So you want to make sure your seal's on good there so that everything activates properly. Fuel bowl on the bottom and yada yada. I did buy a new fuel mixture screw by Moon Eyes. Let me show you. Look at this bad boy right here. It's a Moon Eyes fuel mixture screw and the yellow matches my bike. So the minute I saw that in Japan, I was like, you're coming home with me, buddy. I did buy a full legit Mikuni, not one of those Amazon things, because we need this thing running right. There is some Amazon stuff I agree with, and there's some Amazon stuff I don't agree with. And I don't agree with buying Amazon gaskets, although they're probably the same. One thing I did want to make sure that it did is this little accelerator pump jet. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Just, you know, crack it with a little bit of fuel in the bowl, and you want to make sure it squirts. This one squirts. She's a squirter, guys. So that's all good. At least we know that that circuit is clean and clear, so I don't need to go intense on the cleaning for that. You're not normally going to unscrew this, but where I'm replacing it, I am going to take it out. I was just taking a quick break here, so I figured while I was taking a break, you could like the video and maybe subscribe if you haven't. Cool, thanks. I don't know who chooses to put these fucking screws on here, but they're always made out of cheese, dude. I strip every single one. I understand why every pack comes with new screws. Because I don't know who's putting these on ungodly tight, but it's insane. Either way, if you didn't know, here's a little trick I learned. If it's on there tight, sometimes if you put it in there like that and you smack it around a bit, she'll jog her loose. There we go. See, I was stripping it, and now I'm not stripping it anymore. That's a little trick that my dad taught me before he left. I'm just kidding. He didn't. You guys ready for this? The grand reveal. Not that bad. I've seen worse. The carb I took off of the bike itself was way worse, but see how green and gross that is in there? That means that the jets are probably also kind of clogged, so we're going to clean those up. For reference, this is the original disgusting CV carb I pulled out of the bike. Just going to unscrew this main jet. Yeah, that one looks not too bad. You guys are probably excited that my face isn't in this one a bunch. I'm actually doing stuff. I'm actually working on camera. You just got this one Phillips here for your float. That comes right off. And you got your little pin on there. So don't lose this pin that holds it in. Pivots off that. And let me tell you, as gross as that carb is, this is very clean. I was not expecting that. Now we're going to take out the fuel fill kind of slot. I don't know what you call it, you know. But there's a little Phillips for that. Hold it in there. And then we'll need to grab some pliers to pop that out. Oh, never mind. Pop right out. Normally this O-ring here will fail and it'll eat away inside with the fuel. And that's what constantly fills these in. So this slides in there. And that stops the fuel from coming in when the float bowl sits that down. But yeah, this fails often, so it's always a good idea to replace these. If you're just doing like a basic cleaning, I don't know, I wouldn't remove this whole choke assembly off, but I'm in here and I'm just kind of curious. I just want to see how everything looks. No one cranked down on these ones, so I don't fear that they're going to break on me. Oh. There we go. Ooh, looks gross in there. Moment of truth. I didn't break anything. No cheese bolts on this one. Yeah. Seen better days. So we're going to clean that out. Everything seems to slide well. Looks good. So nothing that I feel like I need to fix or adjust. The bike was actually running really well. And before it was stored for 5 years, the guy who built it, from what I was told, tuned it and did finish the build. So I'm not going to put any other jets in there. I'm not going to mess with the adjustment height on the main jet needle because I'm no carb wizard, okay? I tried to tune my Super E this summer and you can hear it from my neighbors. They hated me, all right? It was me for about a week straight trying to figure it out. And there's some wizardry going on in there. I finally got it dialed in, but I would not call myself a professional. So we're going to put it back together as it is. And if it doesn't run right then, I'm going to call someone who knows more stuff than me, and I'm going to go see them. And they're going to teach me how to do it, hopefully. Or if not, I'm just going to give them money and pick my bike up, and hopefully it runs right. You might not know this, but hey. This is your needle. It's tapered, and it goes into your main jet. And as it goes up and down, the taper either makes it fatter or skinnier at the tip, which means as you open that throttle, more fuel is getting sucked out of that fuel bowl. So you can adjust the height of this needle to give you more fuel without necessarily putting a bigger jet in. That's what's kind of sick about these. They're very adjustable out of the gate, and you shouldn't really have to change your jets all the time. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, okay, so this is probably not the right tool, but this is what I have on hand. These are torch tip cleaners. And I'm just going to go in with one that's way smaller. Go in there and just try to clean anything out that might be in there, clogging it up. Just like that. Now these have a serrated edge on them, so I mean I wouldn't go too wild in there. Wouldn't go too banana sandwich, because if you bore it out bigger than it was, you're going to be adding more fuel to your mixture. Something to keep in mind. I've also got some carb cleaner, so we're going to clean all those parts with everything like that. I was looking for an ultrasonic machine, let me tell you. I don't know anyone who owns one. And I'm going to have another carburetor to clean soon because I might do a little series where I revive my grandmother's motorcycle. And the carb is fucked up in that one for sure, let me tell you. Anyways, we got this all cleaned up. I wish I had an ultrasonic cleaner, but I do not own one yet, so we got to scrub them with a brush and some carb cleaner. Make sure you got a window open for that, because, woo! That is some stuff, you know? Anyways, that's looking good. We got all of our jets in there, all nice and clean. Let's start putting it back together. First things first, we're just going to put this jet holder in, I guess is what we're going to call that. I have no idea, you know? Just a little snug, okay? It's brass and aluminum. You don't need to go crazy style on that thing. No sicko mode stuff. It can just be put in, you know? There. Snug. This one was a little harder to clean. It's got a bunch of little side jets, so take your time with that one. Now we're talking. The only reason we rebuilt the carb, a fresh sticker. More companies need to keep doing this, okay? This was a thing growing up for me, all right? The early 2000s was full of stickers, and I'm assuming that the 90s and the 80s and the 70s were, because hot rod shit's so sick and there's so many sick stickers from hot rod days. Why aren't we sending more stickers? I've ordered an insane amount of parts. Minimal amount of stickers. All right, just push that bad boy right back in. Grab your new screw they supply you with. That one's kind of got like a big collar on it. So you use it to just seat that in there. You want to just make sure it's seating that O-ring without stripping it. There's your float, and then your valve goes right on that. Mine should be set right, so I don't need to play with this, but you can play with this tab to readjust the height of your float. And that's going to slip right in there. Then you're going to put that float there. Put your screw back in. Like I said, I'm not readjusting anything on this one. Everything seemed like it was set up properly, so there's no need to fix what's not broken. I did clean the surface of where my gasket sits with a razor blade. So slap the plunger down for your accelerator pump. When you screw these in, the new ones are still made out of cheese, dude. Don't hammer down on them. Because if you keep your bike, you're the guy who's got to take it off. Your collar, your spring, the washer, and the little rubber gasket. Slap that right in. Boom. New top basket here. Once again, I cleaned off kind of where the old one sat. And then we're just going to sit this on top. Throw that choke cable back in there. I also don't understand why they make these out of plastic. There you go. Nice and clean. Better than when we started. Is it perfect? No, but it's good enough for me, and it's going to run. One thing I will say, to remind you to remind me when I'm freaking out when my bike doesn't run, this vacuum line is absolutely toast, and it didn't come with a new one. I'm not sure if it goes just for the Vos, but if it does, I might delete the Vos. We're not sure. What does it do? Still trying to figure that out. Brand new intake boot gasket. This just slips right on over there like this. I will say, I know that sometimes with these Mikunis, you do need to shave this mount. And I should have probably checked that before I powder coated it. And I'm only thinking about that now. So I might scream later. Who knows? V-Twin Manufacturing makes a Mikuni to CV bolt pattern adapter plate. So that goes on there like that. It's got an O-ring, just squishes on. And with the CV adapter plate and a Mikuni, you still need to run the carb bracket to support everything. That fits on all like that. I have spacers on here from the old intake that I was running on here. So I need to take those off, and I need to buy actual breather bolts. And I'm going to get some squish back in here. And that's going to bring that in. So this is definitely going to hit. I'm just going to cut that with a grinder and touch it up with some paint. And I don't think that I'm going to be able to run this. Just because I want to see what it looks like. That's what the mini bread box is there. I'm going to carve some louvers into that at the machine shop. Get it looking and matching all my other covers. But I think that's pretty rad. I think I mentioned it in the other videos, but to make sure it breathes right, I did buy the thick cut kit for this. These mini bread boxes are sick. Trident Supply. Definitely buy them. If you're on the fence about buying them, the quality is insane. Support people that make cool parts. That's all I'm saying. Before I get out of here, you know, I did buy these, and I love showing stuff that I bought. These are billet aluminum Joker Machine foot pegs. I didn't want to run a mini floorboard. Not that there's anything wrong with mini floorboards, but I also didn't want to run a regular peg, so cool little compromise. Got a little heel holder. I'm hoping it fits with the exhaust, but we'll see. I think it's going to be just kind of a little different look that you don't see out there. I also bought some high bend bars. I forgot that I bought these. I bought these off Marketplace like a month ago, 2 months ago. Actually, you know what? I think I bought these 3 months ago. And I had a buddy pick them up. So these are Thrashing high bends, and I think that they're going to look pretty sick on this. Just get a little bit extra height, and they got that little moto style. I'm definitely going to cut at least an inch off of the width because I'll do that high and tight look. It might even be 2 inches. I'm not sure yet. That's it. It's another video done, another step closer. I'm definitely doing everything that I can right now to avoid making this wiring harness. Not that it's a crazy job, but you ever just not want to do something? You ever just do a bunch of little bullshit and waste a bunch of time like I'm doing right now just to avoid doing one thing that's actually easier than it is to do in your head, but you just like tell yourself it's going to be hard, and then when I actually boil down to doing it, it's going to be like fucking 15 to 20 minutes. It's definitely not going to be 15 to 20 minutes, guys. I'm exaggerating on that part. The wiring is not that much of a headache, but I am avoiding it. All right, I'm being lazy. As usual, tell your friends, tell your family, say something nice, like it, share it to a random stranger, type in a random email, fire it off to that person. Maybe they don't like motorcycles. Maybe they like motorcycles now. Maybe they buy an FXR. Maybe the community grows. Maybe the value on these things pump up even more than they already are. And maybe we're all rich because of it. So anyways, tell your mom I said hi. Have a good one. I love you.